What if the very exercises we perform to protect our health are, in fact, silently placing our brains at risk? It's a startling thought, yet for millions of adults over 50, it may be an unwelcome reality. We exercise to maintain our strength, our independence, and the health of our hearts. But what if certain popular routines are quietly elevating the risk of a stroke, and no one is sounding the alarm? I'm glad you've joined me, because what we're about to discuss could fundamentally change the way you approach fitness, and perhaps even safeguard your future. We will explore 10 common exercises that, despite being widely recommended, may pose a danger to those over 50, particularly if you have high blood pressure, arterial stiffness, or a heart rhythm irregularity you might not even be aware of. But this isn't about fear, it's about knowledge. We will show you how to move smarter and safer, building strength without compromising your brain's well-being. And stay with me, because the ninth point on our list is a habit nearly everyone has adopted, and doctors are now issuing a serious warning. If staying active, independent, and mentally sharp as you age is important to you, then this is a conversation you need to hear. Let's begin. First, heavy overhead lifting, particularly when holding your breath. Lifting weights to preserve strength and independence is admirable. But if you're hoisting heavy loads overhead or holding your breath during the effort, you may be unknowingly increasing your risk of a stroke. The reason, as explained by the Mayo Clinic, is that heavy overhead lifting can cause your blood pressure to surge to alarming levels, at times exceeding 300 over 200 millimeters of mercury. This is due to a physiological response called the Valsalva maneuver, where you instinctively hold your breath and strain against a heavy load. For adults over 50, whose arteries may have lost some of their youthful elasticity, this creates a perfect storm for either a brain hemorrhage or an ischemic stroke. As Dr. Thomas Allison, a cardiologist at the Mayo Clinic, points out, this combination places dangerous pressure on cerebral arteries, which grow more fragile with age. A smarter alternative is to embrace moderate resistance training with mindful breathing. Exhale on exertion. Inhale on release. Consider using machines or resistance bands, focusing on controlled, fluid movements rather than maximum weight. You will still build formidable strength without gambling with your brain health. Next, we look at a cardio favorite that seems harmless, but can silently disrupt blood flow to the brain: the burpee. Fast, intense, and for those over 50, potentially risky. Burpees are often lauded as the ultimate full-body workout, weaving squats, push-ups, and jumps into a single explosive sequence. But for anyone with cardiovascular concerns, this move could do more harm than good. The core issue lies in the rapid transition from a standing position to the floor and back up again. This abrupt change in elevation can trigger orthostatic hypotension, a sudden, disorienting drop in blood pressure that can cause dizziness, blurred vision, or even fainting. A 2021 report in Neurology International noted that these posture-related fluctuations can restrict blood flow to the brain, heightening the risk of mini-strokes, or TIAs, in older adults. If you've ever felt lightheaded after standing up too quickly, imagine amplifying that sensation 15 times in succession. That is the essence of a set of burpees. A smarter alternative involves low-impact cardio circuits. Think gentle step-ups, slow mountain climbers, or even vigorous marching in place. These activities will elevate your heart rate and build endurance without delivering a shock to your system. Now, let's turn to an exercise that feels relaxing, but could be raising your stroke risk in a completely different way: hot yoga. While sweating in a heated room may feel cleansing, it can be a hidden hazard. Hot yoga has soared in popularity for its promise of a deep, detoxifying sweat and enhanced flexibility. But for older adults, especially those on blood pressure medication or with heart conditions, the intense heat can be dangerous. Practicing yoga in a room heated to over 100 degrees Fahrenheit causes profuse sweating, which can lead to a dangerous triad of dehydration, low blood pressure, and increased blood viscosity. This combination elevates the risk of blood clots and impairs blood flow to the brain. A 2018 study from Harvard Medical School found that older adults in hot yoga classes experienced significant cardiovascular strain, particularly when their hydration was not carefully managed. Symptoms like lightheadedness, confusion, or a pulsing headache are not signs of a great workout. They are warnings. The smarter alternative is to choose room temperature yoga or chair yoga. These practices offer all the benefits of improved flexibility, balance, and mobility, without the heat-related risks. Coming up, an exercise that promises explosive agility but might just explode your blood pressure instead: the box jump. Box jumps and similar plyometric exercises are designed to build speed and power. But for adults over 50, these explosive movements can be dangerously taxing. Each jump, both up and down, causes a sudden spike in both intracranial and systolic blood pressure. A 2020 study in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology found that adults over 60 performing these movements experienced blood pressure surges high enough to potentially rupture weakened cerebral arteries. You might feel a rush of adrenaline after a jump, but if it's accompanied by head pressure, ringing in your ears, or dizziness, your body isn't celebrating. It's sending a warning. A smarter alternative is to replace box jumps with controlled step-ups, toe raises, or sidestepping drills. These exercises effectively train your balance, coordination, and lower body strength, but without the perilous spikes in pressure. And speaking of endurance, our next exercise is a favorite among active seniors. But without careful monitoring, it could backfire. Let's look at long-distance running. Lacing up your shoes for a long run can feel like the ultimate commitment to health. But for those over 50, running long distances without tracking your vitals can place undue stress on the heart. The primary concern is that prolonged, unmonitored endurance running can lead to atrial fibrillation, or AFib, an irregular heartbeat that dramatically raises stroke risk. A 2019 study published in the Mayo Clinic Proceedings revealed that older endurance athletes were more prone to developing both AFib and arterial stiffness, a combination that allows blood clots to form and travel to the brain. You may feel strong on the road, but your heart could be struggling silently. Symptoms like persistent fatigue, skipped heartbeats, or shortness of breath are red flags that should never be ignored. A smarter alternative could be brisk walking, interval jogging, or swimming. These activities elevate your heart rate more gently and offer the added benefit of being kind to your joints. Next, a machine that many older adults rely on, yet it could be quietly pushing your blood pressure into the danger zone: the leg press. The leg press machine appears to be a safe, joint-friendly way to build lower body strength. But when used with heavy weights and improper breathing, it becomes a silent threat. The issue, once again, is the Valsalva maneuver. Pushing against a heavy resistance while seated almost forces you to hold your breath, causing a dangerous spike in blood pressure. A study in the Journal of Human Hypertension found that older adults using the leg press near their maximum capacity experienced blood pressure readings well over 300/200. That level of pressure can rupture blood vessels, especially in those with undiagnosed aneurysms. And because you're seated, you may not recognize the strain until it's too late. Head pressure, facial flushing, or dizziness are all signs to stop immediately. The smarter alternative is to use resistance bands, bodyweight squats, or wall sits, all while maintaining slow, controlled breathing. Always exhale through the effort. Now, we move to the core, where a common ABE exercise could be compressing the very arteries that feed your brain: the Russian twist. Trying to sculpt your core with Russian twists? While popular for targeting the obliques, these movements can be risky, especially when performed rapidly or with added weight. The rapid, forceful twisting of the upper body can place excessive strain on the vertebral arteries, which run alongside your spine to supply blood to the brainstem. In adults over 50, these arteries may already be compromised. A 2021 study in the Spine Journal reported that certain rotational exercises reduced cerebral blood flow, triggering dizziness and brain fog in participants. If you've ever felt disoriented during AB work, it might not just be fatigue. It could be a sign of reduced oxygen to your brain. A smarter alternative is to focus on slow, controlled core stability movements, such as the bird dog, the dead bug, or seated marches. These exercises protect your spine while safely strengthening your entire core. Next, a yoga pose that looks peaceful but could be sending pressure in the wrong direction. Headstands and other inversions. While yoga is largely a safe and beneficial practice, certain advanced poses, especially inversions like headstands, shoulder stands, or even a prolonged downward dog, can pose a risk to brain health after 50. When you turn upside down, intracranial pressure naturally increases, while the veins that drain blood from your brain become restricted. For seniors with any degree of carotid artery disease, this can reduce oxygen delivery and potentially trigger mini-strokes, blurred vision, or dizziness. A 2017 review found that yoga inversions in older participants caused temporary reductions in cerebral blood flow. That head rush you feel isn't enlightenment. It's your brain under strain. A smarter alternative is to skip the inversions and focus on gentle, floor-based stretches, seated forward bends, and supported balance poses using a chair or a wall. You will still gain flexibility and calm your nervous system without risking a surge in pressure where it matters most. And now, for the trend that has gone viral but might just be starving your brain of oxygen: extreme breath holding. Breathwork has gained immense popularity through techniques like the Wim Hof method, which involves cycles of hyperventilation followed by extended breath holding. While it may offer some benefits, this extreme practice can be dangerous for older adults. Hyperventilating drastically lowers carbon dioxide in the blood, which causes blood vessels in the brain to constrict. Then, during the prolonged breath hold, oxygen levels can plummet. This combination can lead to hypoxia, fainting, or even mini-strokes. A 2022 case report in Frontiers in Neurology documented a 63-year-old man who experienced stroke-like symptoms after practicing unsupervised Wim Hof breathing. If you've ever felt a tingling dizziness during this practice, it's not a sign of transcendence. It is a distress signal from a brain deprived of oxygen. The smarter alternative is to practice gentle diaphragmatic breathing, or the 4-7-8 method, which calms the nervous system without compromising blood flow. Breath should bring life, not risk it. Finally, we arrive at an exercise you perform every day. But if you're straining too hard, it could be the most dangerous moment of your morning. Straining on the toilet. It may not feel like a workout, but straining during a bowel movement, especially from chronic constipation, is one of the most overlooked stroke triggers in older adults. When you hold your breath and bear down, you are performing a powerful Valsalva maneuver, creating the same dangerous pressure spike seen in heavy lifting. According to Dr. David Liebeskind, a neurologist at UCLA, strokes that occur during defecation are well-documented phenomena. Feeling flushed or lightheaded while on the toilet is not something to ignore. It's a sign that your heart and brain are under serious stress. The smarter solution is prevention. Manage and prevent constipation with a high-fiber diet rich in oats, flaxseed, and leafy greens, and ensure you drink plenty of water. If necessary, consult your doctor about safe, gentle assistance. This daily habit may seem small, but managing it well could be one of the most important things you do for your brain. Before we conclude, here is a bonus tip. Before starting any new, intensive workout plan, ask your doctor about a carotid artery ultrasound. It's a quick, painless scan that can reveal hidden plaque buildup in the arteries that supply blood to your brain, allowing you to tailor your fitness plan safely. Knowing what's happening inside your body is just as important as how you move on the outside. You've made it to the end, and by doing so, you have armed yourself with crucial knowledge. Exercise is not just about intensity, it's about intention. You don't need to push your body to its breaking point to be healthy. You simply need to move with intelligence and awareness. The good news is that you don't have to give up movement. You just have to listen to your body, adjust your routine, and choose the exercises that protect your heart, your brain, and your long-term independence. Every walk, every stretch, every lift done safely is a victory. If this conversation has illuminated a new path for your fitness journey, a simple like lets us know it made a difference. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We're building a community dedicated to aging with wisdom and strength. For more insights that empower you to live well, be sure to subscribe. And finally, consider sharing this video with someone you care for. You never know whose life you might touch. Stay strong, stay smart, and I'll see you again soon.